Good afternoon and welcome to Berwick Mitsubishi. My name's Mark and I'm going to take you for a walk around probably one of the nicest HSV GTS LSA sedans that you've seen this afternoon. Finished in Regal Peacock, a really dark metallic green, which you'll be able to see a fair bit better when we go down the driver's side of the car. At the front of the car itself, a few very minor little stone chips, a few other things to point out. We've got colour-coded front parking sensors, do have daytime running lamps as well, and obviously just our big black grille running through the middle with our yellow GTS badging as well. As we move around to the driver's side of the car, as you can see, the black alloy wheels with our distinctive HSV calipers, not a scratch on the alloy as you'd expect, running basically brand new Continental tyres as well. As you can see in the direct sunlight now, you get a really good indication of the colour of the car. We do have colour coded outer door handles, proximity keys, 2 factory proximity keys, so access to and locking the vehicles just by the touch of a button on any of the doors. Our right-hand rear alloy wheel, as you can see, presents really well also, and consistent Continental tyres all round, of course, as you'd expect with such a high-level performance product. As we get around to the back of the car now, a few things once again. Colour-coded reverse parking sensors, does have reverse park assist as well, which we'll talk about later. Reverse camera as standard as well, with our distinctive supercharged LSA badging there as well. Factory spoiler, and once again not really detecting any scratches or marks around this sort of area of the car, and the consistency continues as we come down the passenger side as well. Once again, no marks on our alloy wheels either. Overall exterior condition is pretty much as new in this car, and the only other thing I'll highlight, the previous owner spent a lot of money on this car, paid the additional for a factory sunroof as well, which set him back around sort of $2,000. And then we'll have a bit of a chat about all of the other performance enhancements shortly as well. So back around at the front of the car now, we'll have a little bit of a chat about the performance. And I mean, the standard performance in this particular car as a rule is usually 430 kilowatts of power and 740 newton meters of torque. But this particular car's one out of the box because the previous owner has spent the money on the following things: 1 7/8 inch headers, high flow cats, performance exhaust, cold air intake as you can see there, dual valve springs, cam upgrade, pulley upgrade, and even the balance has been upgraded. Factory roof, as we mentioned, does have a full-size spare wheel which we'll touch on briefly, and an MY15 steering wheel with paddler shift. So spent around $14,000 on this car, which has actually changed the dynamics of it from 430 kilowatts to 600 kilowatts, and from 740 newton meters of torque to 1,040 newton meters of torque. That equates to 478 rear wheel kilowatts. So as you can imagine, you're looking at a fairly big monster here. Back around at the rear of the car now, we'll just have a look a bit at the storage area in the back here. Obviously, you do lose a little bit in the LSA because our spare wheel comes up into the back. As I mentioned, full-size spare wheel. That's another $1,000 that they've spent additionally just to, you know, get all of the boxes right. As you can see, our storage area has hardly seen any use. We've got our cargo net in the back there as well. So once again, as clean as it was out of the factory. So here we are inside the GTS now, and we'll just run through all of the features. Pay attention to obviously the fact that the interior presents like outside the car, pretty much as new. On our driver's armrest, all of our power window switches and exterior mirror switches as well. Manual button to lock and unlock our door. Auto headlights just at the front there. Brightness for our dashboard, and I don't know if you can see it there, but it does have the heads-up display in this car, so we can see our speed outside the windscreen as well. As I mentioned, it's got the MY15 steering wheel, so it is height adjustable and reach adjustable for that matter. Leather wrapped, of course, with the paddle shifters on the back of the steering wheel as well. Then all of our audio controls and our Bluetooth controls there. Excuse me. Cruise control settings there, lane departure warning, and forward collision mitigation warning as well. Moving to the centre section here, heated driver and passenger seat. We've got our satellite navigation screen up on display at the moment. As we mentioned earlier, it is also fitted with a reverse camera. Have a look how clear that picture is, it's spot on. Obviously we do have, if we go to our home button, we'll just go back to the menu. No, that's not the one we wanted. Won't be a moment here. And then just our source. We've got audio streaming with our Bluetooth once it's all set up as well. That's the screen I was looking for. So the navigation does have enhanced driver interface as well. Okay, so we can just scroll through all of the information on screen just simply by using the right-hand button on our actual steering wheel as well. Runs through all the different options of our performance, what the car's doing as well. Magnetic ride control, as you'd expect in a GTS as well. Down below that, climate control dual zone air conditioning, which of course we've got running today. It's not a bad day in Melbourne for a change. Oil pressure and kilopascals there as well. Our GTS badging, 6-speed auto transmission. As I mentioned earlier, we can drive it as a normal auto, bring it across into sport mode, enables us to utilise the paddle shift on our steering wheel. We've got driver mode here, which we can obviously move between touring to sport to performance. Obviously does alter the bimodal as well. You can bring that back up on screen if we wish to. Now just here we've got reverse parking assist, as we mentioned earlier. We can turn our reverse sensors off as well. Electric park brake to our right hand side, cup holders behind that, full leather console lid with our USB and USB, come on Mark, what's the word? You've just had a mental blank for a moment. And yeah, our inputs for our music or our devices as well. Moving around the seating area now, suede inserts on our bolsters, full leather running through the seats, the base of the seat all the way up the back, even leather infills in our door trims. Once again, paying attention to how it presents, it's still as new. Factory car mats as well. Of course does have 6 airbags, front, side and curtain airbags, giving it a 5-star ANCAP safety rating. We mentioned the sunroof earlier, of course, which the original owner installed, which we can just, that's the tilt function there, or our automatic opening function there as well. So certainly got everything, but probably the most important thing that we touched on earlier is its performance. We will have a quick look at the service books as well. All of our documentation is here from all of the upgrades as well. So we've got all of our dyno printouts there. And you want to know that if you're buying a car that's had all these enhancements done to it, that you've got the documentation there of everything that's actually been carried out. The last thing we'll do is just grab the service books, have a quick look. Obviously this car's been serviced by time interval rather than Ks because it's such low kilometres. Only just ticked over 34,000 Ks, so absolutely perfect service history as well. So just in summary, if you've watched the video, it gives you a really good idea that you're not just looking at your normal 2014 LSA GTS. As we mentioned, from 430 kilowatts, the upgrade's gone out to 600, from 740 Newton meters out to 1,040, and pushing 478 rear wheel kilowatts. So give me a call on 99070 555 and we'll be able to assist further. Just before we go, one last thing, we're going to have a bit of a listen to the exhaust. I want to make sure this does come through to you.